Beneath the glitz and glamour of Manchester and Salford lies a contrasting way of life for many of the young people who live in its suburbs. How do the real issues of life affect them? What do they see when they look around them? What about the high rate of unemployment in the city? What new changes does it need to make it a better place for young people to live in? What do you think about Manchester?
As a whole?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a dump, but it's not a bad place, it's alright. I suppose it's fairly friendly, isn't it?
Friendly.
I've not lived here all my life, but it's got its out anyway. It's got its good points, it's got its bad points.
What are its bad points?
I suppose it does have a lack of some provisions in terms of what's available to young people. Also, it has got a bad press, which is not Manchester's fault, but it is a bad point in terms of how it's seen nationally.
What do you think about Salford?
It's alright. Lived here for about 13 years. Moved away. Thank God. It's alright.
That's alright. The people are quite friendly. Well, most of them are. Some of the people are a bit, I don't know, seems to have a bit of an attitude towards students, some people I suppose. But most people seem to be friendly.
People commuting into town may view Salford and Manchester as a place in which they have to work or the place which enables them to shop till they drop. However, what exactly does Manchester and Salford have to offer the insiders, the young people who were born and bred here?
I love Salford. I mean, I've lived here for now 16 years. I've lived here since I was born. And I'd never go anywhere else. I mean, I went to live in Spain for 6 months. And I went working, and I thought, well, I had to go back to Salford because it's just a wonderful place. I mean, the things you see on the news, it's all bad stuff, but I never seen any of that. It's just my life, and I love Salford. It's a great place to be. I mean, there's a few bad people, but
because there's nothing to do, and it's just boring this shit.
I think it's rubbish. There's nothing to do.
Boring. There's nothing to do around here. I hate it.
There's nothing to do really for us. Excuse me. It's boring, really. And could do with more youth clubs open of a weekend or something, and then there won't be as much trouble and violence and things.
No, I just don't think nothing. It's just a bit untidy around here. That's what I think.
It's not a place that people really want to come to live to.
Not really, is there? For no one.
It's a bit rough and a bit dirty, and these houses are knocked down.
The houses are just 100 years old, they want sorting out. Like they're moving people with kids into houses that are years old and falling apart. And it's just not right. One parent families in houses, now just falling apart. Pure mould everywhere. And what's about 50 grand's worth of repairs doing on it. And they just throw people in houses, it's not right.
A major problem of the inner city is its lack of housing. Salford and Manchester has a number of contrasting housing estates, both newly developed and some in great need of repair.
The council could clean it up a bit and build some nice new houses, a nice estate.
The area that you live in can affect you greatly. Underdeveloped areas can be prone to high poverty and crime, which makes more young people determined to escape this situation. People who live on executive, well-maintained private housing estates may never truly be aware of what life is really like for people who have to depend on their local council for their housing needs. Many of the local council estates in Salford and Manchester are built up of high-density, overcrowded houses, often a haven for unemployment, crime and drugs. Crime rate in both Salford and Manchester has risen dramatically over the past few years, but who is actually responsible for this?
I love Salford. I was born and bred in Salford, I like it. But I think it's going very rough, but I think it's the kids that's making it rough for us lot. You know, it's our kids, our teenagers are making Salford a bad place to be.
You've left school now.
Yeah.
What do you do now to fill in your time?
Go for a mooch.
What do you do when you go for a mooch?
Stand a car or something. Get something out of it.
What do you get out of it?
Something worth money, whatever.
It's alright sometimes, just loads of trouble sometimes.
What kind of trouble?
Like getting mugged and nicking cars and breaking into shops.
Yeah, all the people who come round here, nicking cars and all that, bringing the estate, just like people want to get out of it. Because they're scared of the kids getting knocked over by all the nicked cars and all that. A lot of kids turn to drink and drugs and like stay off school. And there's a lot of them about around Salford.
Bunch of pricks.
Why?
Because they just are. Because like you can just be walking down the street and they'll just pull you over, PNC you and just give you a couple of quick slaps.
If you're there when something's happening, well, they take you in for questioning. And if you aren't, like, and if you're there at the time, well, they might accuse you until they find the proper person.
Well, the police drive saying, giving you fingers and all that, they're just dickheads, they provoke you. No bad. You won't have a better attitude against people, like, you know what I mean?
Here's a gang of young people, they must be up to something wrong, but just because we're all together, like, but there's nowhere else for us to go, so they can't say, they must say, like, why you're here, because there's nowhere else for us to go, what you doing, all hanging around here, as if you're going to break into somewhere, but it's not all people like that, is it? It's just the bad ones giving the ones who are alright bad names, really.
Every time the police see us, because we've got a name now, they just pull you and all that. They should just go on with their job and then do the stuff they're doing. When they are doing crimes, then chase them and nick them, but not just pulling them for no reason.
Oh, car's burnt out again, it's alright, it's only in Salford. I think they should do more about it, they should do something to stop it all.
I'm here about 2.5 years and I found it very depressing, to be quite honest with you. There's so many young kids with no future in Manchester at the moment. The drugs are being taken over and quite a way, actually.
People go to school and things to learn something, but then, like, really, I think there's not a lot of point in going to college because you're not guaranteed on a job when you've finished. So, like, I want a job with training.
There's no jobs about anywhere though. There might be jobs, but you might not like the job that you get. It's part of life though, innit?
It's not really many jobs about. But like the town, there's Manchester, that's near, and there's like a few jobs going around there. But if you want to get like high jobs, you have to press further on.
It's government's fault partly because they're shutting all like you could go to college to be a nurse. They're shutting all the hospitals down, and they're shutting all the warehouses down and things like that. Like you could go to college to be a mechanic, and they're just shutting all the big industries down, car productions and everything. It's not right.
Too many people unemployed. Not enough jobs.
Just keep looking for a job and that. Like, make a point where you've got to go somewhere in life, haven't you? Can't just sit about on your ass all the time, can you?
Streetwise drop-in centre in Salford gives help and advice to young people from drugs awareness, housing and education.
Having a baby, getting married or living with somebody, is that, or having jobs? What do you think?
Well, if I didn't have my baby, I probably would now be working.
Yeah.
You need qualifications, really, and like all the bad ones, they don't stay at school, do they? Don't get qualifications, but you need qualifications to get a job, and they ain't got them, so they can't, so they just on the streets.
So, like, when you were at school, was there something you wanted to do job-wise?
I wanted to be an hairdresser, yeah, but I left in the 4th year.
Yeah.
I left home.
When everyone's leaving school, there's nothing for them to do. I don't know, there's just nothing. Everything that they wanted, they're left doing things that they don't want to do, and it doesn't last, because then they're not enjoying it. So they're going to school and everything to learn what they want to do, and don't end up getting it. So they're just wasting time.
Do you feel that there's any opportunities to return back to like education in any way, so that you can get yourself some qualifications?
What do you mean by that?
Would you go back to college to learn to be an hairdresser?
Yeah, probably, if you had the chance to.
Do you think there is the chance to for people in this area?
It just depends on, like, if they want to do it.
Because that, just thinking about that interests me, how a lot of the young people see students, and then if you want to help yourself and of your situation, maybe you have to become a student to do that.
It is important, because like if you like need to get further, like you need a higher education, you need education like your grades to get like college and university, and if you want to go further on. So it really starts at secondary school.
It's quite a clash, isn't it, of things. Students aren't seen as very
popular,
are they?
And why do you think that is?
I don't really know. It's just oddbods out there, that's what.
Yeah, oddbods.
The other option available to most teenagers when they leave school is further education, but a majority of them feel that this is a waste of time because there is no guarantee of a job which they have trained in at the end of it. But the number of young people continuing in education is rising, with over 44,000 students currently studying at universities and colleges across Manchester and Salford. And to meet their increasing housing needs, big changes have been made, redeveloping and improving student accommodation. But what changes would the locals like to see?
Because I can't work medicals. Well, you can't change Salford, can you? Salford's Salford.
Like, they've done a nice estate on Greengate and it's lovely, but it's everywhere else as well.
So what, if you could change things overnight, what would you change? What would you personally change?
Everything.
What would you do first?
I'd knock the full town down and rebuild it.
Manchester and Salford are taking great steps to regenerate and redevelop its deprived areas. But who is this meant to attract? Broughton and Salford Precinct have been notorious for high-density housing, but have recently undergone a major new facelift, with new low-density housing being built. Hume and Moss Side are also undergoing mass redevelopment projects, but instead of relocating its local people, they are moving them back into the new houses. What would you like to change about Salford, if you could change anything?
I don't know. There's a lot of things, but most things want changing more than others, don't they?
What like?
Like they want to sort out the area, they want to clean up the streets, they want to sort the place out for one, and just things like that.
Better housing, better facilities, like places to go, and places where people can meet other people, like youth clubs, like here you meet other people you don't know, and people who are interested, like not criminals.
That's what it wants to change. All the people in what to change. All the bad people that go on the bad estates. Salford could be good, couldn't it? But it's not, because it's the people in it.
More businesses. Have it like it used to be. More industrial.
If you had the chance, I'd like to have a nice gaff. Fence and all that.
I wouldn't like to move out of Salford, but I think it's probably the same everywhere, the same. So there's no point in moving away, because I'm used to it round here. No matter where you go, there'll always be the same problems. Don't think it'll change, but I wouldn't like to move away, because it's just feels right.
Far away from Salford anyway. Don't care where it is.
At the moment, there doesn't seem to be any future for me in Salford. I mean, I actually work as an assistant chef now at Samuel Platt's, and I want to work on the cruise ships. I mean, not just to get out of Salford, I want to work on the cruise ships so I can earn some money and see the world.
Probably chilling out with a big spliff, man. A few kids and that.
I want to be retired in Spain. But I don't think that's going to happen.
In 10 years' time, I want to be somewhere peaceful. I'd still come and see my family if they still live down here, but I couldn't live down here all the time because I don't like it at all. It's too rough.
I want to have a good job, nursing, my own house, and just far as away as possible from Salford.
They should ask for more press coverage of things that happened that are good. I mean, the Laura Davis appeal. I mean, all the stuff on the news about that was just like, oh, we've raised such amount of money, but they didn't say where it was raised and who raised it, and mainly it was the people of Salford. I mean, people in Salford will do anything to help anyone. I mean, and what we need to do is work close with the police. I mean, people say, oh, well, you're the coppers now, but what does that matter? If you can clean up your estate and make it better for everyone else to live in, like little kids, where your little kids can go out and play in the street without cars coming from down your drive all night. I mean, if we can help the police and help the press to see the good side of Salford, maybe people who live in London and all these posh places might think, well, it's not such a bad place. I mean, people like that want to come and try and live here and see what it's like for themselves.
Look at Salford, you don't see many people getting shot, do you, or stabbed?
People just see like the bad side. Like you meet new people, where you from? You say Salford, oh, it's dead rough down there. They always think that if you walk down West Side, you're going to get your kneecaps blown off us. They always see the bad side of things.
There's quite a few young artists in Salford. You don't get recognised, but there's people like Carlos and things like that who just live just on the precinct, and they're good musicians. I mean, the older generation aren't into it that much because it's more like house and techno, but the kids love it. I mean, take that, they didn't live that far, where they've gone now. Clubs, places like that. I mean, I don't go in clubs myself because I'm not old enough, but what I've heard of the club scene is that the music's good, and it's not all records, it's actually live bands that have come out of Salford.
When you like walk into my side, some people like from like different towns and countries, if like, and you've seen it on television, oh, this is my side where all the shootings happen and everything. This isn't a bad place. Like, this is a bad place. There's some good parts in my side.
But Manchester's not all bad news.
Because it's a good place to shop and everything.
Salford has got a good reputation, really, because when you know all the lads and that, you all stick together, you got respect of people and that, like when you know them all and that. They're alright. What Ollie's been saying, really, telling you that it's all crap and that for your kids and everything, it is, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's you, really, innit? But they like it round here, yeah? Everyone has a good laugh and that, it's a buzz, really. When you know everyone and you get to know everyone, you know what I mean, and stick together and that. Say, like, if you went to jail and there's loads of Salford in there, they're all behind you and that, you know what I mean? Say, it's right, man.
Could you get on the tables, please?